gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Face in your face. Face in your face.
I apologize. I had muted myself for whatever reason. But in any case, welcome to another episode of Latina Diaspora. On this channel, we discuss issues pertaining to Latinos, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States. So I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on Facebook and YouTube. Um, as always, I just want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. I also want to give a huge shout out to those who follow me on social media. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So, what I'm going to ask you to do if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on a playback. Now, before we get into the topic, there is a few things that I do want to get off my chest. Now, lately, there's been speculation regarding whether or not the attempt to delete Donald Trump was, uh, you know, fixed or rigged or phony. What we do know for sure is that two people were deleted who attempted to delete Donald Trump. And unfortunately, there was a person, a supporter, who perished. And we have two other people, critically wounded. As I stated on my main channel, I just want to state that our hearts go out to the victims of this terrible situation that has happened, and there is no words that can say to alleviate the loss of anyone or that dealing with people who were critically um, injured. It is our hope and prayers that they recover. And as far as the other victim that was killed as a result of what transpired, it is my sincere hope that our good Lord administer to the family and they bring healing the mind, soul, and spirit. And of course, now Donald Trump is out there milking this to his heart content. Okay, talking about how he's been almost assassinated. Now, mind you, a bullet did graze his ear, and it did cause bleeding. Okay, um, it reminds me of Revenge of the Sith. Okay, now for those of you who are not into Star Wars, there is a scene where the Supreme Chancellor was addressing the Senate, and it is appeared that he's been scarred due to the conflict that he had with Royce Wyndham. Okay, and basically, if you listen to it, his words were, um, "I may have been scarred, but my force have not been abated." It's something similar to what Donald Trump is doing right now. Okay. Speaking about Donald Trump, I will be discussing my thoughts regarding the Republican Party National Convention that's currently taking place this week on my main channel Thursday. Okay, so it is official. Donald Trump. It's okay. It became official Monday night that Donald Trump is the official Republican candidate to occupy 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay. Those of you who have been following me on my main channel know how I feel about these two candidates. These two candidates are extremely flawed. One of the main reasons is that decline regarding their cognitive skills. One thing we have to bear in mind as you get older, okay, um, you know, um, you start to break down as far as your health, as far as your vision, as far as your hearing, as far as your cognitive skills. Now, in all fairness, there are individuals that can remain sharp even unto their 90s. I'm afraid that does not apply to either one of these candidates. Okay, but be it as it may, that's who we have to make. That's who we have to make a choice with. Okay. All I can say is, God help us. We gotta pick the lesser of two evils for the third presidential election in a row. My concern is either one of these two candidates, should they should they become successful, they may die in office. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, Joe Biden, he's going to be 82, okay, and obviously his cognitive skills has declined. And then you have Donald Trump, who's 78, and there's been speculation regarding him possibly suffering from dementia. Let me make this perfectly clear. I'm not a therapist, so I'm not in a position to diagnose what is his mental condition is. All I can say is that I wish we had someone else other than these two to pick for, but it is what it is. Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the main topic. So the topic for tonight is how gender roles affect Latinos. Now, one thing we all have to bear in mind, okay, that Latinos, we're not among us, okay? We are a large segment of the world's population, okay? one thing we have to bear in mind that Latinos are separated by, but basically three main groups. First of all, you have the Latino, born and raised in the Caribbean, which consists mainly of the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, and the Dominicans. And then you have Latinos of Central America, which consists of Mexico and the smaller Central American countries, such as Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Costa Rica. It's probably one or two, which I don't remember off the top of my head. And then you have the South American countries. Okay. Each group has its own different history. Each group has its own different dynamics. Okay. And of course, gender roles can vary. Okay. One thing that makes us that unite us is, of course, is the language, and also the strong Catholic influences that are there. Okay. And it's even made itself known as far as cities in the United States. Okay, cities like Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Sacramento, Santa Fe, and so on. Okay. Before I continue, let me just state that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to join the panel and express their point of view regarding the topic, they may do so. As always, I will insist that if I have never seen you before, heard about you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage because I don't want anyone decides they can go ahead and show pornographic images, um, which will cause the good people of YouTube to take down this stream. I'm probably not going to be here long. Um, we'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my stream, hopefully. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are without a doubt. Okay, yeah, I know it's a little early. It's just okay. To be fair, this was originally planned for 9 o'clock. It's just that I gotta wake up early tomorrow morning because I have a early morning doctor's a medical appointment. So that's the reason why. Next week I'll probably go live like around 9 o'clock or 9:30. Okay, let's see. Just bear with me because I've been having computer problems earlier today. So let's see. Okay, let's see if I can share my screen. So basically, I came across this article, and there are some frequently asked questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share. Okay. So the first question we'll face. Let me just give me a moment. Okay, the article, okay, is from study.com, and it's a study regarding machismo in Hispanic culture, gender roles, and examples. And here is a short video, which I'm not going to play because I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike. So here are some questions. Um, Now, the first question is, what is machismo behavior? Machismo behavior includes making demeaning comments towards women, making threatening physical gestures, and making sexist comments. In some instances, machismo behavior can be verbally or physically abusive. Okay. Um, I guess one example could be like if you see a bunch of men working at a construction site and you see a beautiful woman walk by and then they're doing catcalls and what have you. Okay. The next question is, what are the gender roles in Hispanic families? Gender roles vary from family to family in Hispanic families. The traditional gender roles include males working to provide for the family while the woman's role is being home, caring for the home and the children. Now, let me just um, add a nuance is that today we have women who are out there um, in the job market working. Many of them, they are single mothers um, due to many reasons. Some of them have to do with the fact that the husband or the father figure passed away. It could be because also another issue is because of divorce or abandonment. There are many reasons, okay? But in some places, they still hold on to the traditional rules, which is men go out and work and the women stay home to take care of the children and the husband. What is machismo in Hispanic culture? In Hispanic culture, machismo is sexist behavior. Okay, it's sexist behavior of males acting in arrogant and possessive ways towards women. Machismo considered a display of strength and power that's overbearing and demeaning towards women. Okay, uh, you have some males, okay, that could be very possessive when it comes to their female counterparts and things of that nature. What is an example of machismo? An example of machismo is a male making demeaning comments to a female in the workplace as a show of dominance. This example highlights the belief that women are inferior to men in machismo culture. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. Okay. Obviously, I don't hold that belief. Uh, in many areas, women are just as capable as men when it comes to many different careers. Nowadays, you have women who are doctors, women who are lawyers, women who are teachers, women who are uh, police officers, you have women athletes. So, you have women in many fields where it was previously occupied by men alone. Excuse me, just give me a moment. I apologize. Just give me a moment, please. Okay. So, and of course, we also have um, women who occupy positions in the cabinet, and of course, we have women who served on the Supreme Court. Okay. It's, in the United States, Hispanic culture refers to the customs and social institutions of all Spanish speakers, including people from Spain and Latin America. Gender roles in Hispanic culture are unique to each family, person, and group, and do not apply to a particular country or person in general. Gender roles can greatly vary from family to family. While some families have equal responsibilities in the household, many cling to traditional roles. Gender roles in Hispanic households can be generally developed into create separate separations between males and female household responsibilities. Machismo or extreme masculine behavior can influence on how men behave socially. Machistas may be more aggressive and possessive towards women. They may be demeaning comments and view women as inferior. Okay. Now, here are some examples of typical male gender roles in machisto culture, which includes the following: appear tough, strong, and capable, attain education and career to provide for a family, demand respect and authority in the household, make lifestyle and financial decisions for the household, embrace arrogant and possessive attitude towards women and children. Okay, ugh. I'm just going to read to you what I'm able to do because I'm not going to create a separate account. Now, as far as typical female gender roles, maintain a respectful, subservient attitude, responsible for raising children, household upkeep, and I cannot make up the following thing. What? Now, we're going to discuss what is the machismo culture. Machismo culture demands male dominance in some Hispanic cultures. Some Hispanic males displaying machismo demand the ultimate respect from their family members and expect to be regarded with the highest authority within the household. The machista culture creates power dynamic in which males have control over household decisions and finances, and the woman is subservient to the male. Machista culture is chauvinistic in nature and places females in a lower social position than males. Machisto Mexican culture depicts machista males as strong, powerful, and ultra-masculine in ideal. In this instance, the wife is responsible for household chores and making and cooking while the household earns the family income. Okay. And I'm going to pop this here because, excuse me. Okay. So that kind of gives you some sort of an idea. Now, okay, now I don't subscribe to all the things as far as gender roles. In fact, this is how I look in the hierarchy. Okay, which is instead of having the male occupy the top position, in my case, that's reserved for God and God alone. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because I believe that in the ideal situation, when it comes to male and female gender roles, there is a level of accountability. Um, the woman is accountable to the husband and to God. In the meanwhile, the husband is accountable to God and the woman to the extent they're making sure that the house is well cared for The house has, the bills are paid, the children are well cared for, and the woman is loved and respected. That's how I look at it. So now what I'm going to do is share another article, and then I'm probably going to call this a night. Just give me a moment because my computer. Okay. Just bear with me, folks, because I was having computer problems earlier tonight, and you just got to go with the flow. So now I'm just going to share one more article. Just give me a moment. Okay. And actually, this is what I'm going to share to you is an article from the Pew Research Center. Uh, in this article, which is dated May 14th of this year, it talks about the majority of Latinos feel pressure to support their families or to succeed at work. So let's just see what this is about. More than half of Latinas say that they feel pressure to provide for their loved ones at home or succeed at their jobs, mirroring the life stresses experienced by women across the United States today. Latinas feel cross pressure in other ways too as they juggle cultural expectations around gender roles rooted in Latin America and those rooted in the US. Majorities of Latinas say that the US Hispanic women face pressure to do housework, be beautiful, and start families. Despite those life pressures, 88% of Latinas are either extremely or very satisfied, which is 56%, or somewhat satisfied, 32%, with their family life, and 86% said that they are extremely happy or very happy, 43%, or somewhat happy, 43%, which how things are going in their lives these days. As you can see, there's a graph to support this. At 22.2 million, Latinos account for 17% of the adult women in the US today. The population grew to 5.6 million from 2010 to 2022, the largest increase of any major female racial or ethnic group. Moreover, most Latinas adults have recent immigrant connections, with 77% being either immigrants themselves, 52%, or having at least one immigrant parent, which is 25%. Some Latinas in the US grew up with traditional cultural values carried from Latin America. This can produce pressure from family or a community to place the needs of others ahead of their own, be passive or submissive to others, or be virtuous or chaste, characteristic related to Marianism. At the same time, some Latinos males feel pressure to achieve success in their own right in academics or a career. These findings emerged from the Pew Research Center's bilingual national survey of Latinos conducted from November 6th to November 19th, 2023, among 5,078 Hispanic adults. The survey explores what it's like to be a Latina in the US today. In addition to life pressures, the report explores Latina views on sexism against women in media, schools, family, and the workplace, and their experiences with harassment and discrimination. Other topics include Latinos' view of the general happiness and life satisfaction, where they find joy in life. Now, here's some interesting statistics. 53% of Latinos say they often feel pressure to support their families in some way by caring for children or elderly family members, supporting the family financially, or living close to family. 39% of Latinos say they often feel pressure to be successful in their job or career. Overall, 63% of Latinos say they often feel pressures, family pressures or the work pressures. Hispanic men also feel life pressures. About half, 49% of Hispanic men say they often feel pressure to support their families in some way, and 40% face pressure to be successful at work. Overall, 59% of Hispanic men say they often feel pressure from family or work. How Latinas are more likely to say Hispanic women face pressures such as cooking and cleaning at home, being a blessing to others, and starting a family than say this about Hispanic men among among Latinas. 68% of Latinos say Hispanic women face a great deal of fair amount of pressure to cook and clean at home, compared to 90% say the same is true for Hispanic men. 62% of Hispanic women face pressures to be beautiful, such as dressing nicely, wearing makeup, or doing their hair and nails. By comparison, 37% of Latinos say Hispanic men face pressure to be handsome, such as dressing nicely or styling their hair. 56% of Hispanic women face pressures to get married and have children, while 36% say the same are Hispanic men. Hispanic men generally agree that Hispanic women face more pressure than Hispanic men to do things associated with gender roles for women. For example, 50% of Hispanics say Hispanic women face pressure to cook and clean at home, compared to 18% who say Hispanic men face this pressure. Among Latino adults, those who in the U.S. born are more likely than immigrants to say Hispanic women as a group face pressure to do things tied to idealized gender roles. 66% of US born Latinos say Hispanic women face a great deal of, or a fair amount of pressure to get married and have children, compared to 40% of Latino immigrants who say US women face these pressures. 76% of US born Latinos say Hispanic women in the US face a great deal of fair amount of pressure to cook and clean at home, compared to 59% of immigrant Latinos. 68% of US born Latinos say Hispanic women face a greater amount of pressure to be beautiful, compared to 56% of immigrant Latinas. About half of Hispanic women say sexism against women is a problem in different settings, including work and entertainment media. Hispanic men are less likely to say so. 52% of Hispanic women say sexism against women is at least somewhat of a big problem in the workplace, compared to 44% of Hispanic men. 48% of Hispanic women say sexism against women is a problem in schools, while 30% of men say among English speaking, 50% of Hispanic women say sexism against women is a problem in English language users, compared to 40% of Hispanic men. Among Hispanic adults, 47% of women say sexism against women is a problem in English language movies and TV, versus 36% of men. Among Spanish speakers, 46% of Hispanic women say sexism against women is a problem in Spanish language movies and TV, compared with 36% of Hispanic men. Latinos views of age, oppression, sexism, and harassment. Younger Latinos are more likely than older Latinos to say they often face pressure to succeed at work or live close to their family. Sexism against women is a big problem in the workplace and experience harassment or discrimination in the past. So we're going to park it here. So as you can see here, there's a lot of issues that Latinos face when it comes to gender roles. Okay, first of all, because of particularly if they immigrated from their countries of origin, because they have to adapt to U.S. cultures and U.S. customs, and many times there is quite a difference. Okay, and sometimes Latinos struggle to navigate through all the whole thing. If you were born in the U.S. as a Latino, it's a little bit easier to navigate, but there's still issues. Okay, so I just want to, this is something to consider. Now, as I stated before, I'm not going to stay long, but I did want to have a discussion regarding gender roles and how it could be can cause conflicts of identity. See, particularly when it comes to Latino women. Okay, so what is my take? There are many things that Latinos struggle with, and depending on the family makeup, depending on the values, they need to determine what they could consider appropriate as far as their roles and maintain their own personal identity. So, with that, I'm gonna call this a night. Okay, of course, all of you are more than welcome to opine. Um, After the stream is over, just be mindful. Please be respectful. Because if you're not, you will be deleted. Your comments, that is. Now, the latest buffoonery that's being circulated by one individual, which will be nameless, is that I have an STD. Now, it's kind of interesting considering the fact that I've not engaged in any type of sexual activity since the time I was married. So, how do you get an STD if you're not sexually active? I mean, but that's us, the nature of the circus. And all I'm gonna say is, let the circus be the circus. With that being said, I'm gonna call this a night. I want to let everybody know that I will be live on my channel on Thursday night, which I'm going to give you my thoughts of the Republican National Convention, which is current right now as we speak. As always, I really appreciate all the support that you give me every single week. And as far as the playback can, do your own thing. Check out the stream, and if you can, hit the like button. So with that being said, I'm go- with that being said, I'm going to call it a night. Just want to say, take care, stay blessed, and peace.